The galaxy had seen billions of stars die, wars erupt, and species vanish. But what stopped even the coldest generals mid-sentence was the sound of an alien mother sobbing at a human-style grave. And when a lone human stepped forward, carrying nothing but folded cloth and a soldier's silence, everything changed. The grave was simple, just a mound of turned soil and a wooden cross, alien runes carved shakily on the surface, blending with Terran-style engraving. No flowers, just silence and a soft humming sound from the breeze that passed over the barren hillside. Lieutenant Ava Monroe stood at a respectful distance, her boots crunching softly against the dry earth. She didn't move closer yet. The alien figure before the grave, tall, silver-skinned, wrapped in ceremonial silks, was weeping. Not the loud, theatrical kind humans sometimes used. No, this was silent. Shoulders trembling, hands clutched to chest, and a sound. A single, quiet, keening note that cut deeper than any battlefield scream Ava had ever heard. The alien mother's name was Velinari. She was a Zethari, a race once feared for their genetic supremacy, telepathic precision, and total disdain for emotional weakness. They had once conquered 3 sectors in silence, dispassionately. But war changed things. Especially this war. The one they had started. The one humanity ended. Ava finally stepped forward. "I'm sorry," she said softly. Velinari didn't move. Didn't even blink. "I wasn't there," Ava continued, "when they took the refugee convoy. I was 3 planets over. We didn't even know the Zethari were using children as decoys." That got a reaction. The alien mother turned, her luminous lavender eyes brimming but now focused. "I never thought I'd see one of you here," Velinari whispered. "I'm not here as a soldier," Ava replied. "I'm here as someone who's lost a child too." That silenced the wind itself. The 2 women, alien and human, stood in shared grief. Centuries of suspicion, war, misunderstanding, cracked just a little under the weight of one tiny grave. Ava knelt slowly and placed a folded flag beside the mound. Not a Terran flag, not a military insignia, but a hand-woven square of cloth embroidered with both Zethari and human script. The mark of shared mourning. The mark of peace. She was 7, Velinari murmured. Bright. Curious. Loved Terran sweets. She used to pretend she was a pilot. "I have a daughter back home," Ava said, voice trembling. "Same age. Loves the stars." Velinari stared at her. "How can you still fight?" Ava closed her eyes. "Because if I don't, more graves like this get dug." Their conversation stretched into the silence that followed, not as enemies, not even as diplomats, but as 2 mothers trying to keep the galaxy from tearing itself apart. But what neither of them knew was that they were being watched. 3 days later, the grave was no longer alone. A second marker appeared next to it, this time human-built. Tall, elegant, polished stone etched with a single word in over 100 languages. Enough. It made headlines across the quadrant. Not because of its design, but because of who stood in front of it when it was unveiled. A Zethari mother and a human lieutenant. Side by side. No guards. No translators. No politics. Just raw truth and shared loss. The broadcast went viral. Even species that hated each other with generational fury paused to watch. The Zethari Council tried to silence Velinari. She refused. Ava was offered a quiet discharge to avoid diplomatic strain. She turned it down. Instead, the 2 launched something unprecedented, the Children's Accord, a peace initiative aimed at protecting non-combatants, especially children, across all war zones. They spoke together at hearings, on neutral moons, and even once aboard a Varkari warcruiser, species known for eating diplomats when negotiations failed. Everywhere they went, they brought one thing, a photo of the grave, of the tiny mound with 2 flags resting side by side. But not everyone supported them. One night, on a distant spaceport, a bomb detonated near their transport. Ava took the shrapnel meant for Velinari. When asked why she did it, her answer was simple. Because no mother should have to bury another child. That statement ended up carved into 100 monuments. Years passed. The war cooled. The Zethari signed the accord first. Then the Veruan. Then the Tekari. And finally, even Earth. It wasn't perfect. Skirmishes continued. But the number of civilian deaths dropped by over 80%. The hill where the original grave sat became a memorial garden. And on the anniversary of her child's death, Velinari visited once more, this time not alone. Ava stood beside her, her own daughter now a teenager, standing respectfully with her head bowed. Velinari looked at Ava. "You gave me more than peace," she whispered. "You gave my child meaning." Ava replied, "She gave us hope." And so, where a child once lay beneath the soil of a war-torn planet, two mothers, alien and human, changed the course of galactic history, not through battle, but through grief and courage.